Thanks, Mark. You did great, brother. Thank you so much. Good morning, Elite. Raise your hand if you've ever put on an event like this. Does anybody know what goes on when you have to put on an event like this? The details, everything you have to do. I want you guys to clap for these people because Darren, Hannah, all the people that Darren spoke about, I could feel the emotion in his voice. Could you guys hear it? Here's the thing. This is not just a company. Now, I speak all across the country, and I'm very blessed to be here, and I was very blessed that Hannah chose me and that I'm in front of you guys for a couple of reasons. One, I don't do this because I get paid for it. I do it because it's a passion of mine. I believe God put me on this planet to speak into the lives of others and impact people. That's what I truly believe. I went through hard. This speech is going to be very impactful if you allow it. But there's two reasons why you won't. Ego and pride. A lot of you guys in this room, you're like, we got a bunch of motivational speakers today. So cool. Raise your hand if you love motivational speakers. Raise your hand if you don't. Be honest. Let's be honest. But here's the thing. I want you guys to be very real and raw with yourselves because when I was speaking to Hannah about coming to this event, I said, look, I'm not for everybody. I'm not. You may love me, you may hate me, and that's okay. Because usually 30% of the people in the room, they leave an event like this. That guy was full of it. Just another motivational speaker. So we all have stories, but the impact and time it takes to build an event like this, I think deserves a huge round of applause for Elite. And I'll tell you guys when to do that. But when I heard the passion in Darren's voice, I'm an emotional guy too. I got a bunch of tattoos and I cry when someone wins American Idol. Literally. But don't get it twisted. I'll fight everybody in the bar with you guys, so we're good. But I want you guys to start this event off with energy. I know it's early. I flew 5 hours out here. I lost 2 hours. So for me, I was up late last night, met with a client that I have in town, and I couldn't wait to get to this event. I was excited because I wanted the energy to be loud. And we're gonna do it in thanks to Darren, to Hannah, to all the leaders that he spoke of, to you guys. Applaud for yourselves. Applaud for the people at Hilton that are serving you guys, because I think a lot of speakers don't do that. They get up there, it's all about them, and look at me and all the shit that you're gonna learn. It's like the amount of effort that goes into building an event like this, you guys just don't know. So on the count of 3, I want you guys to go absolutely nuts. And I don't care if some of you stand up out of your seats. I don't care if you're a table. You may hate motivational speakers. I want you to go insane because the power behind the messages and the rest of the speakers today, if you allow it, it will change you. But ego and pride will stop you. Let's just call it what it is. I'm not up here to tell you guys something that you may or may not know. I'm up here to make you guys finally believe in yourselves in a specific level that you couldn't, or you didn't want to, or maybe you don't want to put in the effort to take that extra step. But motivation doesn't get you anywhere. It's discipline to do what other people won't. So on the count of 3, we want to get loud. And this is in thanks to Darren, Hilton, and all of you guys. And I want you to go absolute crazy. So on the count of 3, it's thank you guys, go nuts. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Okay, take a seat. First and foremost, I know I look way better in the picture. AI is awesome. You just punch it in there and say, give me muscles. It works. A couple of things I want you guys to know today. These slides, they're references. I have a team that helps me when I speak across the country. I hate presentations. I hate PowerPoints because I like kind of speaking off the cuff. I want it to be real. Today, I'm going to ask you guys to get engaged. I'm going to call on you. If no one says anything, I'm going to call on the person that hates motivational speakers the most. I want you guys to get engaged because that's what you need to do today. How many people have you traveled a distance to get here? Then why waste your time? If you can take away one thing from today that could change you as shop owners, as building your businesses or the people within your businesses that I believe are family, because I don't say work for people, I say you work with them. There's a big difference between the two. So when you look at this slide and it says, life is hard, choose your hard, they asked me to speak today about choosing your hard. I customize these speeches based on the company itself. I'm doing my own research, not by asking them for tools and what I should talk about. And I may be way off the mark and I want you guys to tell me. That's okay, because I learn too. And I think the thing about training and speakers is that sometimes we get on stage and we just think they know everything. Listen to me. He's got the clicker. He's got the PowerPoint presentation. He's got to know more than us. Dude, I have no ego. I want you guys to think about this today. Big sentence right there. Every aspiration has a cost. I want you guys to tell me what that means. What does every aspiration have a cost mean to you, sir? I'm bringing you on stage. Give me a round of applause. A lot of people look at this slide and they'll say, I'm choosing the hard because I'm going to be financially better off. When I say to people, why do you do what you do? People say, it's for my kids and my family so they can have the life that I never had. That's okay. I'm the same. I didn't grow up with anything, hardly at all. Come up in humble beginnings, which we'll get into a little bit later. But I remembered that my parents, and I love them to death. My dad's passed away since 2017. We'll talk about that. But they didn't want to pay the price to build our lives so we weren't in struggle. But here's what they did pay the price. Not financially, but they did it with love. I always say that my parents stayed together forever, and God rest my father's soul. And I don't like talking about it because I get emotional, but I'll tell you guys this. My parents were the richest people in love. They sacrificed maybe finance and moves they could have made to change our lives, and that their aspiration may have had a cost, because they felt like if they could pour into us with love when other families, divorced parents, no father, no mother, people passing away too soon. That was the hard they chose. The reason that they cost themselves financially was the love, and maybe the price was worth it to them. Maybe seeing us struggle was worth it to them. So I want to ask you guys this question. Are you willing to do what it takes to take you, your shop, the people in your shop that you work with, not for, to the next level? Yes or no? Here's the thing. Again, you may hate motivational speakers. That's fine. But I promise you, if you don't say shit, I will walk in the crowd. I will hand you the microphone, and you're going to start saying that. Because you got to get out of your comfort zone, and that's what choosing your heart is. Darren was up here talking about emotional stories. And I remember listening to his 4 principles and his core values. And saying to myself, if you truly believe that as an organization, you're going to grow and you're going to thrive. I don't know how many people were with Elite before he bought it. Has the leadership changed in a better way, yes or no? See, companies grow because Darren chose a hard 3 years ago. Him and his wife sat back and they said, what if we give this thing a shot? Now, I don't know their story. I just heard it was up here, but I'm guessing they took a big risk. Is that fair to say, Darren? Financially, mentally. Right now, they're risking money, hoping that you guys will walk away with something. So the question isn't whether you guys will do it, it's really what you'll do it for. And so what I want you guys to do is in your notepads, just real quick, I want you guys to write down why you're here, not what you're going to learn, but who you're actually doing it for. Because here's the thing, emotion tied to finance will take you guys to another level. It's not just because I want to be better and I want to make more money, but who are you doing it for? And get your pens out. This next slide that's up here. It's called The Lies We Tell Ourselves. I created this slide because it was the lies I told myself for years. Many of you may tell yourselves different lies. But every single day when we wake up, there are things we say to ourselves. I don't want to work out. I don't have what it takes. I don't have the money. I don't have the same opportunities as other people. I don't have the time. All the bullshit we sell ourselves. Raise your hand if you're in sales. By the way, raise your hand if you're in sales. Raise your hand if you're not in sales. Everybody's in sales. Because guess what? You're selling yourselves. The best closer in my house is my 11-year-old daughter. Then it's my 23-year-old. Then it's my 28-year-old. So when you're looking on the screen, I want you to shout out right now, somebody, what are the excuses that you've told yourself on this screen? Can anybody relate with one of these excuses? Tell me which one it was. Sir, you're nodding your head. What is it? Raise your hand if you've said, I don't have time. Me too. I'm so busy. Well, what you'll see in a lot of these slides, that busy isn't always productive. We try to sell ourselves. So those of you that raised your hand that you're not in sales, if you said this to yourself, you're selling yourself. When we don't know how to say no or take no for an answer, our lives start elevating. We're choosing a hard. The hard is, I don't have time. So you're taking the complacency and selling yourselves that I won't make this next move or do that next step because I'm so busy. You're selling yourselves. I learned a long time ago, if you don't know how to accept a no, you're going to win. And it was my 11-year-old daughter. She was 7 at the time. I said, Gabriella. It's like Gabriella without the G. Gabriella, you don't eat that candy, put it back. It's 8 o'clock at night. You're about to brush your teeth, go to bed, floss, don't it? She goes, but Daddy, why? I said, well, because you're going to get cavities. You're going to brush your teeth twice. She goes, but why do I get cavities? I said, well, it's the candy. It's the sugar. She goes, but Daddy, I can brush my teeth afterwards, so I don't understand. Like, why don't you want me to have this candy? And I said, well, Gabrielle, I don't want you to have the candy, and that's it. We're done talking about, I'm your father. You need to listen to me. She goes, but why? But why? But why? But why? I was like, take the piece of candy. Here's the thing. Every single time I would tell her no, she didn't accept the no. She chose to keep moving forward, and as kids, getting what they want, we know kids are relentless on getting what they want, right? But they don't believe that there's a side where they accept no. Another one that somebody came up, who's ever said my past is extremely hard? I have a tough story. Sir, can you just tell me a little bit about that? Just 2 seconds, not too long, but what'd you came up with? I'm sorry? Father suicide? See, I remember being at another event, and I was doing an insurance training for a team, sales leadership event. And there was a guy that I knew that was sitting behind another person. And these guys didn't get along very well. I talked to them before the event, and I remember having a conversation because they were both like, we just don't like each other. I let him do his thing, he does his. I'm talking to him separate. I'm like, well, why don't you guys like each other? Well, the kid that doesn't have a lot of money says, well, dude, he's got it made. He's got a BMW, he's got a house on the mountainside. His dad's super rich, mom's super rich. He's like, doesn't matter if he makes it or not. He can just move back in with his parents, and he's got it made. So I go to the guy that's got it made, and I said, dude, why don't you like that guy? He said, because he's always giving me shit about my life and that I have everything. I didn't give myself the BMW. My father did. I didn't give myself the silver spoon. My mom and dad did. But there's one thing he doesn't know about me, is that a lot of this money that we have now wasn't because we were super rich. It was because my father, and I'm sorry for your loss, sir, committed suicide. The insurance money, after a year, the policy they had, gave his family a lifelong supportive income. And that's ended up being the reason his father took his life. He knew it. He read the insurance policy. They had to wait a year, and he got money. And I remember doing the event, and I was talking about my story, and you can see the kid in the back behind him, like kind of smug the entire time. I grew up in the streets, so I didn't get handed anything my entire life. And the guy in front getting very emotional. They were choosing their heart, their stories. The guy that was in the BMW was listening. I saw him, and there was just tears running down his face. And the guy behind him, that smug dude, comes up to me about an hour after the event, and he says, I want to apologize to you, and I need to find that guy and apologize to him because I had that guy get up and tell his story because it was very powerful. And I wanted the guy behind him to hear it. Because we prejudge people based on what they have, not the story they've gone through. The thing is, money didn't make him happy. And I doubt by listening to Darren, that's the reason why he bought this company. I'm guessing, could be wrong here, but I'm guessing he wanted to give people the opportunity to change their lives with Elite like it changed his. Is that fair to say, Darren? So we always think that people do it because of the White House and the picket fence and the 401k and the investments and the BMW. It's bullshit. You don't know someone's story. So instead of prejudging someone, which is the easy hard, right? That's hard because you never have a relation with them. But it's the easy because you don't want to find out about people. So today, at this event, whether it's me, any other speaker, out in the crowd, whoever you speak to, I want you to give people a chance. I want you to listen to their story. I would love to hear more about your story, but I guarantee it affected you in a very harsh way. Would that be fair to say, sir? No one can go through that level of hard without getting emotional about a loss. And loss may not be life. It may be mentally. It may be physically. It may be financially. So today when you guys are choosing your hard, the hard is this. You can choose to prejudge people based on how they look, where they come from, the money they have. You don't have the right to judge someone when you don't know their story. So let's cut the shit. We're all here to make a ton of money. We want to elevate people's lives, and we want to pour into the people around us. Yes or no? You guys have a choice. You can choose the hard that you guys want and keep doing the same shit after you leave the event today. I'm sure there's some extraordinary speakers after me. They're going to light you guys on fire, and they've got trainings and all sorts of stuff. Today, for me, This is about you guys mentally being prepared to change your lives. This is what they asked me to do. And I'm telling you this because half the shit on here isn't mine. I stole it. I stole it from books I read. I stole it from other speakers that I've heard speak. There's no like secret sauce that I'm going to teach you today. This book, 547 pages, took me 4.5 years to write. I wanted it to have everything in sales that anybody could ever need without having to buy other books. I did it to pour into lives. Guess how much money I make off that book annually? Anyone, throw a number out. How about 10% of that? You don't make shit off of books after Amazon takes their piece. And I've been #1 bestseller for 18 months. I'm like, I'm about to get rich. No. So I want you guys to look at this really quick. It says every choice comes with pain. Somebody tell me how discipline can be a part of pain. What do you have to choose in discipline to be pain? What are things you can do to have more discipline? Sacrifice. What else? Peace. Okay, well, sacrifice is the second one. Peace is good. We all need it. I'm sorry? Motivation's good, but motivation doesn't last. Accountability is there. Let's just stay with the first one. Who works out every morning? Does that take discipline? Not trying to get into religion here, but I was rebaptized 3 years ago. It's a huge part of my life. You guys can applaud for that, whether you like to or not. I like that. It's big for me. Discipline is the getting up. For me, it was praying every morning. Can I choose to make the decision to pray to someone who I wasn't really sure believed I was worthy of the life that they promise? Can I do that? Discipline was saying no when most people say yes to appease. And I can't say no to my daughter, so don't call me out on that. But see, discipline is a different level when you're talking about business. What about the employee who constantly complains, right? The complainer in your shop. They're always like, oh, dude, we don't have enough business, or you're making me work these hours, or just whatever they complain about. Do you have the discipline to sit that person down and say, listen, I understand exactly how you feel, and I want to know how I can serve you as a leader? See, sales is also selling the people that you work with as well, and that takes discipline because a lot of owners are like, get your ass back to work. Stop bitching. That's why I pay you. This is what we do. This is what Elite does. But how many of you have leaders actually pull them aside in a closed-door environment where it's private and say, tell me what's wrong? I know that you're complaining, and I understand that. And a lot of times, I'm not with you. So I want you to explain to me, is it something personal? Because I'm open to hearing about it. How many of you had the discipline to actually give a shit about the lives of the people that you work with and actually do it? Love that. Because that matters. People will stay with you in revenue. I have no college degree. I came from the streets. I grew up in a pool hall, poker tables. We'll get into that in the next slide. Do you want to know what helped build my company and the companies that I consult for? And this is what I do for a living. I don't speak for a living. I do it because I love it. I know business. I can read a P&L better than most accountants. Discipline was the reason why I'm at where I'm at. I didn't know how to read a P&L, so what did I do? I sat with an accountant and I learned. I wanted to learn because I'm really good with numbers, but how can I consult unless I understand it? How many of you believe, by raise of hands, that there's more you could be doing in your business right now? Raise your hand. Be honest. We all can do more. So discipline's hard. What's sacrifice mean to you in your lives and in your business? What's that mean? Time. What else? No excuses. Very important one. What else? Doing what you don't want to do. But what are you sacrificing? Here's the thing. In the past 2 weeks, I've been to Birmingham, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia. I flew to Birmingham Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, came back Wednesday, flew to Atlanta, Georgia, Thursday, Friday, got back to my house on Saturday. Monday, I fly to actually Sunday night, I fly to Pensacola. I'm in Pensacola for a couple days, right? Wednesday, I fly back home. Thursday morning, guess where I flew? Here. I get back on Saturday. We're celebrating my 11-year-old's birthday on Saturday, and I'm flying the red eye to make sure I'm home in time to be there. But a lot of you wouldn't do that. I'm sacrificing time with people I love most because I want my wife to be there every day. Her dream, that's her passion. Be the best mother she can be next to my daughter, side by side, every single second. She doesn't let my daughter take a school bus. She's driving her there. She buckles her in. She is with her every second. Every Tuesday, she's at lunches with her. I miss this. I am the provider. I believe that's my role. And some of you may or may not agree with that because you could say, Todd, tomorrow's not promised, and it isn't, and I believe that. But my job is to provide so she can. My job is to build my life so my daughters didn't have to struggle the way I grew up. Sacrifice to me is time. Time with my loved ones. I'm FaceTiming my daughter last night, emotional, because I've seen her 3 days in the past 2 weeks. But my wife and daughter, 11-year-old, Daddy, I know this is what you love to do. Go break a leg. And that just fills me with joy. So is the sacrifice worth it? So today, what I want you guys to do, I want you to write down, what are you sacrificing to build your businesses? Because that's the heart that I chose. That sacrifice is not be with my family so I can build a life that they can never look back and say, Daddy wasn't there, Daddy didn't build this for me. I want them to know all through the hard that I was there. And the effort I put into this every single day is because I love them and I want them to have these lives. But family isn't enough. It's not. What other sacrifices do you guys make, and who do you make them for? Somebody say it. Yourself, biggest one by far. A long time ago, I was trying to build a schedule. I could do one speaking gig every month. And then I thought to myself, this is my passion. I'm talking to my pastor and I'm just like, this is my passion. This is what I want to do. What should I do? Because Todd, you have one life, live it. What's your wife's passion? Be the best mother she can be. She wants to be there. She's living her passion. You need to live yours. And there's a turning point we'll get to in a minute. But a lot of you don't write down the sacrifices that you do every single day because it's not relevant. It's not in front of you. You don't see it. So you're choosing one hard. The hard is complacency. I don't want to see the sacrifices. I'm tunnel vision. I'm going to work on my company. I'm moving forward. The other hard is I'm going to list the sacrifices so I see them every single day and I know why I'm doing what I'm doing so it can get me up and give me the discipline I need to succeed. Yes or no? That to me is important. You have two hards. Finally, accountability. What does that mean? From someone other than someone that hasn't spoken yet. What does accountability mean to you? I love that. What else? Somebody else tell me. Taking responsibility. Who are you responsible for? Everyone. Get deeper. Team members. Self, family, team members. Accountability. So what does accountability mean? How many of you, be honest, used to be habitually late? Raise your hand. There's so many more people in this room there. Used to be, you're lying. I saw 20 of you come in late while Darren, your owner, was speaking. Is it just those little things that can change our lives? Yes or no? Does showing up on time change your life? It can, because these are little wins. So when we talk about this, I want you guys to write this down. I can have it all just not at once. Write that down right now. Here's the next thing we're going to get into, a little bit about my story. I don't like talking about myself too much when I'm on stage, but I do have a story. Your story can choose to build you or impact you or break you. These are the options. For me, when they say from the streets to the boardroom, I got with my wife, I got with my team members, I got with my brother. I talked to him about what's the title of the book. I got with my business partner, Brandon, at MSGA. He said, you have to have from the streets to the boardroom because you have a story. When I was 15 years old, I started selling vacuum sweepers door to door, and I was horrendous at it. Anybody know what a rainbow vacuum sweeper is? Raise your hand. So rainbow, it was this like water filtration system, and it was awesome. And you had the hose, and you used to go to people's houses without getting too much into the details. My mother had breast cancer. They gave her 6 months to live when I was 15. They said if the cancer doesn't kill her, the chemo and radiation will. She had to do it every other day for a year. And back then, 35 years ago, showing my age, all I saw my mom was sleeping and throwing up with no hair. My dad was on antidepressants his whole life, never was motivated to get out there and work, while my mom worked at Dillard's at the Lancome department, the makeup department, making 20 grand a year. We had a very, very rough upbringing financially. So I was bad at selling vacuum sweepers. I do a presentation one day, and I knocked this tenured, not older woman's door, this tenured lady's door, and she's in her like late 70s. And I'm not kidding you, I'm literally asking her if I can do a presentation. I've knocked 100 doors, people slamming in my face, cussing at me, get off my property, kid. We're not buying anything from a 15-year-old. Ma'am, can I please come in? She'd go, okay, come on in. I remember she just called me Sonny. Come on in, Sonny. Come on, you can do it. Come on in here. And I'll just critique you. I'm not buying anything. I'm doing the vacuum sweeper. I'm cleaning the floor. And back then, do you remember they used to have those clear things with the white piece of paper where you could see all the dirt? You know what I'm talking about, right? You can see all the dirt coming out. And I'm scraping the floor. And every house I went into before, that thing was black, dude. Like carpets were nasty back then. Some of you are nasty. So I'm sitting there scraping and like there's black duct, and I'm just like, man, this is awesome. In every other house, I get into her house. She has one of those old shag rugs. I'm showing my age again, and there's nothing. It's the cleanest rug I've ever, and I'm scraping And I moved to another section, I'm scraping, and I'm scraping. And I just feel like this lady's the one, I'm gonna sell her. And this tiny little speck of like dark dust landed on the thing. And I go, like, your carpet is horrendous. Tell her the price, $2,000. This was back in 1991. And General Finance was charging 20% interest for a $2,000 vacuum sweeper. It was horrendous. You're probably still making payments 25 years later. Anyways, the thing is, like, I didn't sell the deal, but I remember having a conversation. She said, son, if you want to make money, you're a good talker, but you got to care about the people. You're so busy trying to find dirt. You didn't ask me how having this vacuum sweeper would affect me in the home and the cleanliness of you're just trying to find shit. And I was like, damn, she's right. And I sat there and talked to her for 30 minutes and I said, man, how can I get better at this? So I went to my manager, all you coaches in here, I sat down with them, and I became one of the number one salespeople in the company. I remember I had like $200 one day and I walked by a pool hall. And this is in Columbia, Missouri at the time. I'm from New York, lived in Missouri for 8 years. I walked by a pool hall and I look into this pool hall, a little country town, and I go in the pool hall and there's stacks of cash all over the table. And listen, I'm 16 at the time. I'm like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. This is a movie, right? There's $100 bills and $20 bills and $50 bills. And I'm like, this is awesome. So I sat there for 6 months. I never played pool before. I'm right-handed and I play pool left-handed. I didn't even pick up the stick. And I watched these people. And it was the best training of my life. Because if anybody knows about pool in here, but like if you're better than someone, you have to give them weight. So if you're playing 9-ball, you have to hit them in order 1 through 9. And if I'm better than you, sir, I'll say, I know you don't want to gamble with me because I'm better, but I'll give you the 7 and 8. So if you make the 7, 8, and 9, you win the game. I have to make the 9 to win. So it's like a handicap system, right? And I saw these guys negotiating back and forth. I've been watching 6 months. You were way better than the person you were talking to, and this person was giving you weight. I'm like, what in the hell's going on? Like, that guy's way better, but it was the art of negotiation. And then I was reading his facial expressions and his body movement, his hand gestures. Then I'm watching guys play cribbage, talk, pinochle, and where they were picking up cards when they're playing gin and putting the cards into left side of their hand or the middle. And you can find out what people have from that by reading those movements. It was the craziest thing. So I started learning the art of negotiation at pool hall. 6 months later, I pick up a pool stick. I was making $1,500 a week at 16 years old. I was in a pool hall from literally 10 a.m. until midnight pretty much every day on the weekends, and after school from 3 p.m. until about midnight. Every day, because I was addicted to the cash. I thought to myself, if I can provide a life for my family with this money, I'm gonna do it. So I learned the art of negotiation and sales. The hard was give up something I was number one at in Kirby or Rainbow vacuum sweepers and go into the pool hall and start something new. That was a hard. Then all of a sudden, 3 years later, I see these guys playing poker. I played a little bit of, it was 5-card stud, 5-card draw, 7-card stud back then. Texas Hold'em really wasn't a thing in the early 90s. So I play a little poker. I think I'm good at it. I can read people. I'm winning money playing cards. I'm like, this is cool. Moved to Florida in 1998. In 2003, a guy by the name of Chris Moneymaker wins the World Series of Poker off a $29 buy-in online. He wins $2.5 million. Texas Hold'em became the sickest craze out there. Now think of this. It's 2003. I'm literally 27 years old. I'm telling myself, I can make money off this shit. I had a kitchen table, put a tablecloth over it, and those little plastic, how many people you play with those like blue, white, and red plastic chips? And I started taking $1 a hand, $3 a hand, $4 a hand. So I quit pool, even though it was a new area to start a new venture. That was a hard that I chose because I wanted my life to be better. Fast forward, 12 years of my life running illegal card games, 10 and a half to be fair, right? I stopped running those card games in about 2013. Now, what you guys are thinking? That's 2026. That was only 13 years ago. I was making $10,000 a week, cash, running card games. What did Darren say earlier? We did $1 million in revenue, but we had no money. I was making 10 grand a week cash running card games. I would rent penthouses downtown Orlando. My dad, God rest his soul, used to cater their food. We had waitresses, classy environment. There was 100 grand on the table at one time. You ever seen the movie Molly's Game, anybody? You should watch it. That was basically me at a smaller level. Then I got robbed at gunpoint, cold barrel. I was doing a lot of steroids back then. I was a mean person. I was living a different type of life. I was obviously divorced in 2005 from my first wife. I was running card games with all that cash in your pocket. I was buying Range Rovers, Castle. I thought I was the coolest person in the world, but I was the biggest idiot on the planet. Not saving money, had no credit. I didn't own anything, no nothing. Guy comes in one day, kicks the door in, cold barrel to my head. I was much bigger than I am now. He said, Todd, if you move, you're dying tonight. I'm thinking to myself, I'm dying for my daughter, bro. You can take whatever you want. Took the money, the cash, everybody's watches, the whole 9 yards. Hard could be go get a different job, start something new, or get more security. I did the easier hard. That was my choice. Now I got armed security. A year and a half later, I get robbed again. Inside job for sure. Door just magically was open. Oh, I'm so sorry, Todd. I forgot to lock the door. Thinking to myself, what am I doing? Like, I'm running card games and making all this money. If I die, who's supporting my kids? But I didn't know any other way to make money. I was great at sales. I can go out and I didn't want to because 10,000 a week was too easy. The cash was easy, so I wanted to stay with the easy, not the hard. So the choice was find a new place, get new security, let's do it again. We're in a penthouse in downtown Orlando called Aspire. When I say a penthouse, I mean the works. It was $6,500 a month, glass windows, professional poker table like you see on TV, lights in the rails, man. I did it all. I want to have the best illegal poker room in the world. And I did. Crazy enough, got robbed again. And this time when I get robbed, the guy says, my wife's name, my daughter's names, and he goes, we'll kill them all. If you don't give us the money, we know you got money in the safe. So what do you do? What do you do, guys? You give them the money. It was my entire net worth. They knew the names of my kids. So the hard could be, well, no, I don't have any money there, lie to them. The hard could be go back and run another card game. But I'll tell you that the moment that moved me was when I thought to myself, Todd, you are the biggest idiot on the planet. It's the third time you've been robbed. You keep hiring new security. You keep trying to get nicer places. You keep trying to up it so you can't. Why don't you just go get a job? Why don't you build your life? Why don't you get better in business? And that was in 2013. Go to a poker game. I'm playing at somebody's home game, not running my own. I didn't have a way to make money. I was dead broke. I had $500 and playing the card game. I ran it up to $2,800. A guy asked me one day, Todd, let me ask you a question. What's the biggest amount of money have you ever won in a card game? And I said, when I lost $2,800. He goes, no. I said, how much have you won? And I go, yeah, I got it all in on a hand where I had the nuts, which is the best hand ever. Guy had a huge draw, which he had a way to beat me. And he's been asking me to get into the timeshare business for 5 years. And I was like, from New York, I was like, dude, you can't make money. Like, you're selling air. Like, timeshare, what the hell is that? He says, we're going to get it all in. If you lose a hand, you got to stop doing everything right now. You're a great salesperson. You ran a business in the poker game. You can make money doing this. You have to stop doing everything today. If you lose his hand, and you have to change your life, and I'm going to pour into you, and I'm going to help you come work with me. And I said, that's cool, because I didn't believe in his bullshit. When I win the hand, I'm like, I got the nuts. Like, I'm going to shut this dude up, right? So when I win this, I don't want to hear shit about timeshare ever again. Lost a hand, go dead broke. I go to take my real estate license, because that's how you make the real money in timeshare. It was a choice, right? I could have gone back to playing poker. I gave it all up, my only form of income. I didn't have a dollar to my name. I go to take the real estate test. It took me 5 times to pass it. 5 times. If you don't pass it the 5th time in the state of Florida, guess what? You got to retake it again. You have to wait. It's like a penalty. So I passed it, became the #1 salesperson. Then I quit that industry making $800,000 a year because they're a bunch of liars. They lie to people. That's what they do. And I couldn't look at myself in the mirror anymore. I remember going to my wife. I was like, I'm done. That's it. Choose hard. A lot of you are thinking, why does this story matter? Because I was making $800,000 a year growing up with nothing. I was the minority in my neighborhood. I got my ass kicked a lot. And then I'm making $800,000 a year. And I quit it because I didn't believe in their practices. And I remember going to my wife, saying to her, babe, I'm giving this up. I can't look at myself anymore. I try to teach these guys how to sell the right way. They're not doing it. She goes, are you absolutely insane? Dude, making $800,000 a year. We've got the $1 million house. I have the white Bentley. I got a Cybertruck. Don't make fun of me. You're in shop. So my wife has Porsches. We got all the cool shit. And I'm about to give up all. She goes, what in the hell are you? She's a supporter. I have purses I have to support her with too. She goes, how am I going to live? I said, babe, I just believe in myself. I can do it. It was a choice for me to make. Started a consulting company. We made $78,000 my first year. How many people by raise of hands can't wait to go from making $800,000 to $78,000 a year? I'll wait. Nobody? Weird. I tell you my story, and I wish I had more time to train you, because I could get into this story that would absolutely change your lives forever. We all have stories, right? But I didn't let my story break me. My choice was give up. And for a year I did. I lived in this small room for $500 a month in a buddy of mine's house. I slept 12 hours a day, and I cried the other 12. Couldn't afford literally gas to drive literally 12 miles to spend time with my family. I was walking to McDonald's, scrounging change out of a trash can so my daughters could have food to eat. This is how low I was, and I had to lift myself up. I've cheated, I've filed bankruptcy, I've stolen things as a kid, I've been arrested 6 times when I was younger, all fighting, stupid shit, driving with license under suspension, had a DUI. I could go on my rap sheet where Hannah would have been like, not hiring this guy now. Thanks for not looking, Hannah. But I used to be afraid of telling people this stuff on stage. But the weight that freed me from this by just being honest with myself was huge. So do you think I posted on my social media page 1998 filed bankruptcy? Do you think I did that on social media? What is social media? It doesn't have to be a lie. It's a what? I've been broke, robbed, depressed, broken. Everybody shows, what's those 2 words, one in bold? The highlight reels. Look at me, look at the fancy. I just posted a picture the other day. I post something every single day, which we'll get into in the next slide. Every single day, and I want to lift people up. So I posted this picture of me in a private jet. I was just there in Puerto Rico 3 weeks ago. Buddy of mine, Vic Tippiness, he's got 3.3 million followers. We're on a private jet. I was like, dude, I never thought I could be on a private jet. And somebody said, what was the most fun of that trip? It was a bachelor party. Was it the yachts and the jet skis and the nice dinners and the clubs? And I said, no, it was 2 hours on the plane there and back, listening to people that had conversations with people that had way more money than me and bigger businesses. So you guys have an opportunity today to make a choice. You could go in the corner, go up to your room. You could scroll, like Darren said, go through your social media, because I couldn't agree with you more, Darren. It's all bullshit. It doesn't have to be lies, sir. But your highlight reels are the good. I want you guys to be open with the bad. The bad is what moves you. That's a choice. Your choice to share your story with people can either make you or break you. I chose to be honest. And if you judge me and you don't like me, because people can change regardless of unpopular opinion, you have the ability to change. And if you change, people will follow you. They will be by you. They'll be next to your side if you treat them well. That's the choice you have to make. That's a hard. So there's 2 times in your life that matter. The picture here on the left is in 2017, July 25th, 7:31 p.m. I got a stopwatch on my tattoo on my arm. That's my dad. I'm sitting next to his deathbed. It was literally 2 weeks before he passed away. And I was holding his hand. And I said, Dad, what do you want me to do? I'll do anything you want me to do to make you happy while you're in heaven looking down. He says, I want you to write a book that I've been procrastinating about. I want you to finish it. You've been procrastinating about that book. I want you to write it. And I want you to speak to people, son. You have a voice. I want you to talk to people. Be passionate, be real, be honest. If they love you, fine, great. If they don't, that's okay. You need to be authentically raw, be yourself, and just go out there and change lives, because I couldn't give you the life that you deserved. You know what killed my dad? Somebody say it. Say that louder. Say it louder. Do you guys know what the #1 reason people die from in nursing homes? Mindset and regret. Loneliness, mindset, regret. I wish I would have. Here's the thing. Don't ever be the what if person. Don't do that. Don't wake up one day and say, what if I would have done this? What if I would have made that extra move? What if I would have asked Darren for a little support? What if I would have asked this person? What if I would have asked this person to coach me, not letting my pride and ego? What if I would have done that? I'm never going to be the what if person. I'm going to fight to speak. So I did what my dad asked. I got on stage. I spoke. It was at the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center in Orlando, Florida, 300 seats, and they were all my friends. I lost my ass. But I did it for my father, and it changed me. I finished the book. This went #1 for 9 months. I did it because my dad pushed me. That was a turning point in my life. So one side is you don't have time. Pain and regret, too late. Can anybody guess what the other picture is? Say it. My daughter. I got a 28-year-old, 23-year-old, 11-year-old. At that point, my daughter was 4 years old. I remember laying in bed, wasn't making a lot of money, and I'm laying in bed. She has her hand on my arm. And I remember the moment when I'm holding my dad's hand, I said to myself, man, this is crazy. Like, it's almost the same. The feeling that you get from someone you love. How many people have suffered loss in here from someone you love? It's pretty much everyone at one point in our lives. And if you haven't yet, God bless you. When the time comes, it's not fun. And I said to myself, I'm not going to be the what if person. I'm going to change your lives. Look, there are people in here who've been divorced. You don't get along with your exes. Maybe you can't see your kid. Maybe you're not the best father. Maybe you're not the best mother. Maybe you don't talk to your brother and sister. I won't do that anymore. There's nothing worth losing time with the people that you love most, just because you're too afraid to take the next step because whatever happened was their fault. I wasn't going to let things that happened that are my fault affect that little girl touching my arm. That was a turning point. So when you have pain of regret, discipline is what takes you. I'm going to fast forward through this one. Choosing hard is a skill. You have daily choices you can make. Motivation is bullshit because it's temporary. The endorphins. I get up here, I'll get you guys pumped up. You'll be like, run through them now. 20 minutes later, you'll be like, that was fun. He was real great, and I'm ready to crush. And you get home from the Ignite conference, you do the same old shit. That's a choice. That's a hard that you're choosing. The hard is not giving your kids the life that you want. That's hard to go through. Or hard doing the work that it takes to give your kids or the people that you love most the life that they want, including yourself. So here's what I do. Every single day, I have consistent standards. I'm long-term thinking with my goals. I write down big goals, but I also have small ones. Darren talked about gratitudes. Every single day, if you guys want to ask, I'll show you my phone before I get off stage here, and I have gratitudes. I write 10 new things every morning that I'm grateful for. And yes, over time, they will recycle. Not that I'm grateful for the health of my kids every day. I have a coach that I pay a lot of money to every year. I have a coach, and I do consulting. Everybody should have one, right? Whether it's someone you pay, you don't pay, everybody should have a coach. Guess what happened? One day I forget to do my gratitudes because I lost someone very near and dear to me. So I talked to my coach, and I said, I didn't do my gratitudes today because of this loss. And she goes, that's fine. If you don't do your gratitudes, and I know what you're going through is hard, then I'm done being your coach. She goes, today I want you to write down 100 gratitudes. 100 gratitudes. It would take you guys 4 hours to write down 100 things you're grateful for. I'm so grateful I have shoelaces for my sneakers. She said, you have to do it on one page and only the front. And I'm writing tiny, did the 100 gratitudes. Guys, being grateful and having gratitude in your life, it will change you. You want to know why? One negative thing happens in your life and you forget about all the good shit, dude. It's crazy. It was so insane to me that I sat there my entire life and I was sulked. Poor Todd. You don't have the money that are real. Poor Todd didn't get the sale. Poor, you can't buy gifts, dude. Think about it now and it just bothers me. Because it's not about the Louis Vuitton shoes and the jackets. I like nice shit just like everybody else. It's about choosing a hard. The hard was, am I going to be the father that can't provide, or am I going to be the man that I want my kids to look up to? Am I going to be the husband to support and give my wife everything she wants? Or am I going to be the husband that she looks at one day and goes, why when one thing happens does his mindset changes? What is it? But that's the thing, and gratitude heals me every day because we forget about the good shit. My advice to you guys is if you don't take a picture of this, you should, but you should write down 10 gratitudes every day. Next thing I do is I write down 3 attainable goals. So I got long-term thinking. This is a choice for you guys to do this or not. I got long-term thinking, and then I have short-term, 3 attainable goals. It's read a book 15 minutes a day. Why do I like reading a book? Because I hate reading. I've written 3 books, and I hate reading. Don't get it, but I hate it. I listen to audiobooks, and I thought, I'm an audiobook guy. No, I retain it much better because I'm doing the thing that I hate to do. I actually retain it better when I read it. So now I listen to audiobooks while I'm reading the book. It's insane. Very difficult, but I retain it better. Do it every day. 3 attainable goals. It doesn't have to be make $1 million, guys. It's like get up on time. Show up to work on time. You should put this practice in your businesses, but you got to start. Daily text. Here's one thing you guys should do that will change you. Again, this is a choice. I literally take my phone, I turn it around so I can't see it. I go to my contacts and I just scroll. And I go up and I go down. I go up and I put my finger right here. I turn around and I go, oh shit, I got to send that person gratitude today. Haven't talked to them in 28 years, but I forced myself to do it. I can't tell you how many uncomfortable texts that I've sent people because the contact stopped at an old friend that I just did not like, someone that treated me horrible and it was their fault. And I just gave them forgiveness. I said, dude, just want to let you know, I had this new practice, turn my phone around. It was just randomly you. You're probably like, why the hell is Todd texting me? I was just like, I want you to know that I'm thinking about you and life's too short and I hope that you have a great day. And anything you're going through, we'll forget all the past. I just want you to know I'm here for you if you need me. I do it every day, 3 text messages. Some get repeated. They say thank you. It has literally changed me. You want to know why? Because of the responses I get back. It's a choice to do it. Hadn't seen a girl in 25 years. She was going to commit suicide. She goes, Todd, I haven't seen you in 25 years. I went to high school with her. I see your posts online, but I don't like the post. I don't hit the like button. I don't comment on the post. I see you living your life to the fullest, and I'm so proud of you and so happy. But I want you to know that one day I received a text message from you 4 years ago, and I didn't reply because I didn't know what to say. But I want you to know that at that time, I was getting ready to commit suicide, laying in a bathtub with a razor in my hand. That text message saved my life. Is that not insane? Like, you don't know how you can touch someone's life, but you have to live that, dude. Or you can be the cocky, arrogant person and choose the other way around. Say, I don't want to have to do this shit. I'll tell you guys, I'll get off stage. Your story does not define you. And when I talk about who has a story, I don't have time to go through it here, guys, because again, I like to kind of go off the whim. I'll tell you this, you have a choice. Your choice is let your story keep you and hold you back and not share with people, not be open. You have a choice to let your story break you. You have a choice to let your story make the excuses. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the upbringing. I don't have the story. I'm not close to Darren. I don't know him. I'm new here. Well, then go shake his hand. Go meet him. He is a human. Just because he has CEO/owner doesn't, and people are afraid. I was for many years to talk to people of that caliber. Now I walk into a boardroom and they probably look at me and go, why did we pay all this money? Who is this idiot with tattoos everywhere? I wear t-shirt and jeans. That's me. I used to wear a suit and play the part. Screw that, dude. Wake up. Your story can build you if you let it. My hard is not harder than yours. Your hard, you own your hard. It could be a breakup that destroyed you mentally. It's not just, that's just life. That's love. No, dude, if that's their hard. So you have a choice. Let your story break you or build you. I want you to make that choice today. Another choice. You have a choice to listen to the speakers. You have a choice to take notes. Some of you haven't even opened the book yet. You think I don't see that. I do. It's so stupid. Like, write something down. Because you guys are here to learn. That's a choice. That's how you build your businesses. And I'll tell you guys this. Everybody up real quick. Everybody up. Check this out. I don't know why this is like this. Must have been a PDF. Here's what I want you guys to do. If you've ever said, my market is different, I want you to sit down. Our market's different than other markets. We can't and I want to be honest. 1, 2, 3. If you've ever said my market's different, there's no way. The people, they got a better market than me. They're just easier there. Next one. If you see it, cars still break, people still pay for trust, and leadership still works everywhere. So you're lying to yourselves. Next one. If you've ever said customers here won't pay for this, my prices are too high, prices are way too expensive, can't sell it, sit down. God, I love seeing people go, just keep dropping. Thank you for your honesty. How about the next one? I don't trust anyone else to do it right. That gets a lot of you. I love that one. Guys are like, got me. That's the same with all companies. Next one. I just need one more good tech to take me to the next level. Next one. I can't step away because nothing would get done. 1, 2, 3. 2 people standing up. Love this. Keep standing. Next one. You too. I don't have the time. I'm way too busy. Either one of you? No? Give these 2 guys a round of applause. Stand up, sir. What drives you within Elite?
All these people around me.
Amen. Round of applause. Don't make excuses. Round of applause for that. Thank you, sir. You sit down. Sir, how about yourself? What drives you? Because these are excuses that, as you can see, 99.9999% of the room use. So what stops you from making these excuses? Oh, give him a round of applause for that one. Hard as a leader. This shit may be harsh right now, and I want you guys to take a picture of this before you go. It says, you want accountability, discipline, ownership, and results. You need to start leading with it, or stop pretending to be the example. 99% of you sat down. You're pretending to be the example right now to lead. I may have lost all of you as followers, and you may never want to hear me again. But it's the truth. If you sat down with any one of those excuses, you're not leading by example. You're leading, giving them the excuses and making it okay to use these excuses. That's what you're doing. You're setting the example. So it might be harsh, but it's true. Ego and pride, guide, it'll stop you. You have a choice. You can have ego and pride, or you guys can choose to be open and willing to learn. If a new person starts your company today, can you learn from them? Yes or no? Never been in the industry before, can you learn something from them? Don't be the type of person that allows ego and pride to stop them, because that's a choice. I teach people how to interview, to ask them, based on what you know about our company, what are some things you think we could do differently to be a better organization? They're brand new. They've never worked with us before. I do a survey. I teach companies to do this. And they go, dude, they don't even know our company. They haven't started with us. Well, guess what? That's what consulting is. I can come into Elite right now, sit down with Darren, and tell him things that I believe are opportunities to make his company better. Why? Because Darren's here every day. It's all tunnel vision. Coaches, you all over stand up, it's every day. It's tunnel vision. I can see shit you guys can't, because it's not my business. Vice versa, Darren could walk into my company and see shit that I don't see. We all need that. But if you let ego and pride get in the way, you're going to crush yourselves. I want you guys to find someone as an accountability partner before we leave. I want you guys, and I want it to be someone other than the same person you see every day. It could be another shop owner. It could be someone you haven't met today. I want you to tell them 2 things. Be open and honest that you can work on as a human being, and 2 things you could work on as a company. I don't spend enough time with my kids. Be honest, right? I don't think I'm the father or the mother one. That's okay. Be honest. Don't have a smug smirk on your face. I'm not going to do this thing. It will change you if you let it. That's a choice. But you guys need to learn from other people that aren't in your inner circle every day. It changed me. I can learn from everybody in this room. Don't let ego pride get in the way. I want everybody, let's make a deal here because we're about to get out of here. I want you guys right now to take a picture of that. Everybody pull your phones out, take a picture of that. Let's make a promise today that if you want a better life, more money, a thriving business, buy the house, put your kids through college, a better marriage, get closer to God, be a better leader, whatever you guys want to do, I want you guys to be honest with yourselves to do it. Today we make a choice. The choice is to stay being the person we are because complacency will kill you, or to become the person you want to be. Stop waiting, your story won't help you. Who wants free books? Sales book, who wants free books? Free books, can you get started? I want to get you free books. I got a couple more here, I'm gonna give them out. Before I get off stage here, if you guys can, do me a favor. Whoever gets that, gets that. Man, look at that, Todd, that's awesome, man. Here we go. Those are sales books. Sorry, God. These are a couple mindset books. It's a lot smaller of a book, will kill you. We ready? We ready? Ready? Let's go. Ready? Over here. Here you go, ma'am. There you go. Mindset book, mindset book, mindset book. There you go. Do me a favor. If you guys can scan the QR code, give me a follow. My name's Todd Speciale. I'm very grateful for your time. You guys crush it today.